What's up? What's up? This is Jacques. And let's talk about why you attract the wrong clients, right? And so traditionally, it looks like this, right? Somebody reaches out to you, they get in your email, they slide in your DMs, and they reach out. And immediately, what you do is you try to close them, right? So let's look at the iPad. So traditionally, somebody comes in, they're a lead. That's a person that's interested in your services, whether they reach out, you have their info, whatever, right? So traditionally, most traditional sales formulas look like this: leads, close. You get them to come in and you try to close them, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. But here's the problem: how do you even know they're actually a good client to be able to actually, before you go and try to close them, right? And so you may say, Jacques, well, what makes a good client, right? What's a good client? Oh, that's not it. So what's a good client? Well, three things. So one, a good client is somebody that is actually a company. What do I mean by that? Well, a company as opposed to RP that I call a regular person, right? So your clients are companies and corporations. These are people that actually have budgets that actually can afford the work that you're going to do for them. Not the homie down the block, right? Now that's a favor. That's a friend. But if you're trying to do this thing full time and make a living out of this, it's very difficult working for a friend or a regular person, unless that person works for a company, right? So ideal client, the first thing is that they're a company, right? The second one is you have to make sure that this person also has a problem. And bonus, not only just a problem, but a problem that you yourself can actually solve with your services. So if they have a problem that you can't solve, or they don't have a problem, then they're not a good client, right? And the third thing is you have to make sure that they actually can afford you. They got the money to be able to afford you. So, well, you may say, well, Jacques, how do I find all these things out? Well, that's the thing. We got to change the formula, right? So normally we got leads and then close. But there's one thing that's missing in between this step, which is leads and then qualify, then close. So one of the things we don't do enough of is we don't actually qualify these leads to make sure that they're actually good leads. And so once they come in, we have to put them through a filter to make sure they're a good client before you even waste your time having a meeting with them. Because chances are you go and have a meeting, everybody's excited, you spend an hour or two, you create a proposal, and you quote them this number, and they expected to pay that number, and it's a huge disconnect, right? So 3 ways to qualify your leads. Way number 1 is going to be through your position statement. You know how to spell that, right? So essentially, the moment they land on your website, the moment they go on your social, you have to be very forthcoming with what it is that you actually do and who you do it for, right? So if you're a designer, we are a X, Y, and Z design agency that helps X, Y, and Z type of company do X, Y, and Z. We're a packaging company that helps up and coming food brands do X, Y, and Z. We're a right? So you have to be very specific about what you do, who you do it for. And the reason is because those folks, when they see themselves being called out, they're going to be more than likely excited to work with you because they know you do exactly what they're looking for. And on the flip side, those who are not good leads, they're going to say, yeah, this ain't for me, right? So that's the first way, is your position statement. The second way is actually in your inquiry form. So where you send folks to say, yeah, just fill out the form on my website and tell me more. And you're looking for 2 specific keys, right? Inquiry form, you're looking at the email address they use and their answer to the question of what is your budget, right? So let's go with the email first. The email address, you want to make sure that their email is not Yahoo, a Gmail, whatever, right? Whatever the traditional typical mail is, you want to make sure that their email is a @ company name. Again, back to our earlier point of a good client, you want to make sure that they're a company or they are associated with a company. This is just not a little side thing that somebody's doing. Somebody else could serve them. It's just not you, right? So that's the first thing. And the second one is the budget. In your form, if you don't have it right now, you should update it and make sure that one of the questions you ask is, what is your budget? And make sure that whatever you want to be at, right? Whatever you want to charge, whatever the lowest you take, make that the lowest option and do under. So if the lowest you want to charge is 5K, put their budget as 5 and under. If the budget lowest you could charge is 10K, put it as 10 and under as the first option, and then do 10 to 25K, then 25K to 50K, and then 50K to 100K, then 100K and up. And what that does, it does a couple things. One, it's anchoring that price. It's making that 10K or whatever low number you charge, it doesn't even doesn't even look like it's really expensive compared to the other numbers out there, right? But it's also folks who cannot afford that, they're not even gonna fill out your form because they're gonna realize, okay, this is serious business. I ain't got nothing to do with this. But on the flip side, those who do fill it out, and especially those who select the options above the under X, Y, and Z number, then you can go and actually proceed with a call with those folks, right? So that's the second way. And the third way is via email, a qualifying email. So if those first two things happen and you're still not sure whether this is a good client or they're the right kind of client for you, then you can actually send them an email that goes something like this. Hey, such and such, thank you for reaching out to me and my team. We'd love to set up a time to meet, but first, would you mind telling us a little bit more about what you're looking for in your budget to make sure we'd be a good fit for each other? That's it. And once they reply, if they tell you what they're looking for and it fits with a problem that you could actually help them solve, right? Or their budget is consistent with what you charge, then you can proceed by setting up a call. And if not, you can say, hey, thank you for reaching back out. Unfortunately, I don't think we'd be a good fit for each other. So you don't go and waste your time having calls and conversation, right? So we just talked about how to actually qualify your clients. If you want to learn more, I got a training that I've created. It's called How to Increase Your Prices and Grow Your Creative Agency. I teach you how to go and charge 10K plus for your creative service, whether that's designing, writing, whatever, right? So if you're interested in that training, it's 100% free. Just click the link and sign up and catch it now. All right? I'll see you on the inside.